What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the item spotlight. So today's spotlight, we're going to be talking about the Turbo K E-pipe from Kamry. So is it good? Is it bad? It's a pretty simple device. So let's go over it together and find out. As always, guys, we begin with the dive cam. So here is the box itself, okay? Kamry, you guys already know. This is a company that's been around for a long time. Their first debut item was the K100. I think it was a knockoff of like the Empire mechanical mods. Anyhow, so what's in the box? Let's open it up over here. So it slides out, and then there's a little velvet pouch inside containing the actual E-pipe itself. We'll get to that in a sec. Let's finish over here. So it comes with a tank and atomizer. All right. The design of this thing is going to be the tank with the atomizer, so you don't just replace the coils. Then you get your little USB inside. Okay. I didn't really bother to read the info manual or anything like that because the device is just way too simple itself. Okay. And then there's a lot of things about it that I really didn't bother testing, and I just decided to take their word for it. So this thing is a 1000 mAh device. Okay, operating at 30 watts supposedly. Okay. What it is that the mouthpiece over here is connected to the whole atomizer itself, and it comes out like so, right? You fill your juice in here, and then the rest of this connects magnetically, right? Couple of cons and design flaws on this thing, okay? Number one, when we remove the mouthpiece over here, you can see that, yeah, it gets a little bit messy, right? So let me go ahead and get a tissue for that and wipe that up a little bit. Okay, what I want to talk about is the filling method of this thing. I haven't seen a really decent filling method for this other than, you know, lifting this up a little bit, and I would actually recommend hitting this with a syringe. True, you could like remove the whole thing and then easily fill up the juice inside. I'm not going to do it right now because it's super messy, but you could imagine, you know, you just open this up and then you fill your juice. But the problem with this thing is air pressure system. Okay, what happens is that the setup of this thing is almost as simple as really old school Kamry tanks. Do you guys remember what I'm talking about? Like BCC Kamry tanks and stuff. ProTech 1, right, Pro Tank 1, Pro Tank 2, things like that. So what happens is that when you have a lot of juice and then you push, you know, this rubber piece back on, it pushes juice out through like the vent holes over here, and then you have juice coming out from the other side. So really need to design around this kind of flaw or find a different kind of fill port method or something like that. I would have even preferred something really simple, like, you know, just a screw over here where we release a screw and then you put a syringe in there and then you tighten the screw back on, something like that, so that like when you push this piece back, you're not going to have air pressure pushing the juice back out. So that, you know, kind of a problem. Another thing is this opening over here, right? Okay, so I gotta show you guys, right, that like when I do the review, we're under hot bright lights. Okay, I have some really huge professional spotlights shining down on me, and you could barely see from here like where the juice level is out, right? So the depth of this thing, it's kind of dark, you know. So I'd rather not have an opening here at all because I really can't see the juice level. That's the honest truth for me. Okay, for this particular model, it's kind of dark. I can't really see the juice level on it, so that part of the design kind of bothers me. Okay, so wood finish says Turbo K over here. Little strange. I don't know. I probably would have preferred just nothing at all, but this is just all like aesthetics. Okay. this is basically my first e-pipe. I was never really crazy about them, but I do see why certain people are really into it because of the ergonomics, because of the way you hold it with the fire button, like so. Okay, so basically this thing operates just as simple as any Joytech device or like an Endura or something like that. So 5 clicks on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you see it start flashing like so, and then this is basically your fire button. Okay, 5 clicks off. Okay. Also, I've noticed that if you leave this thing by itself for a while, okay, and you're not vaping on it, it does have a safety involved, and then it'll shut itself off so that you'll have to go ahead and 5-click on again. All right. Mouthpiece design, pretty interesting. I think this is supposed to be for some type of spitback protection because this is directly cutting in between that, right? But the catch for this is that like I do feel as if flavor is slightly muted on this item. I can't deny that. Okay, the flavor is kind of sort of muted. When this thing says on its website that it's operating at 30 watts, right? Then to be fair, I gotta find something else that's kind of like a sub tank 30-watt device-ish or whatever. So when this thing vapes against like say an Endura or an Ego 1 or maybe even going as far as like the old school Atlantis or something like that, the performance is subpar. Okay, at least I personally think so. This thing vapes, the pull on it is pretty much baby clouds. Okay. So here we are at the screen cap, okay, and I gotta admit, I don't have too much experience on e-pipes or whatever, right? But I feel as if what I have to say right now is a very fair assessment, okay? Going by the question of would I go out and get one of these, like how do I feel about it? How do I feel about receiving it? Is it a good gift? Things like that. Now, definitely as my first e-pipe, getting this, I appreciate it. Okay, I think it's kind of cool to get into the whole, way of, you hold stuff and vape, and just the versatility of how small it is, keeping it in your pocket and bringing it with you to like different places. Being out here in Vegas and whatnot, definitely have one of these accompany with you. When you're on the slot machines or whatever, is pretty darn convenient. I gotta admit, it's a lot easier to hold than like a bulky a box mod. And controlled at 30 watts, 1,000 milliamp hours actually goes a pretty long way. However, what I need to say is that like the moment that I Google e-pipe, right, the selection that's out there in comparison to everything that's out right now, and this being a brand new item, look what's already out. Look at this model, look at this model, look at this model. I don't know any of these models because I don't normally review e-pipes, but what I can tell you is that there's a lot of stuff out there that's a lot sleeker looking, and this thing for sure, I mean, the atomizer on top of it is going to be, far better performance than any Endura or Ego 1 or, whatever is in here. Just by the looks of it, I could tell, the performance is probably far better. But even if I wanted to go with something quirky, something different, like so, something more futuristic or something very classic, right? The point is that there's just too many selections out there that I think is better than the Turbo K, and so I guess in essence what I'm kind of trying to say is that the item is sort of a swing and a miss. For those of you who are still interested in it, Fast Tech has it over here for about $35, and then E-cig for like $42, and then other places also have it for around like sort of 40-ish. Okay. This item, when I spoke to them about it and their MSRP, they weren't too sure about the MSRP, but the wholesale price that they quoted me, man, I thought it was pretty high. Pretty high, you know what I mean? Not that I want to carry this and sell this or anything like that, but since they couldn't tell me the MSRP, so I just asked them the wholesale price and try to like reverse work the math from there and see where they're trying to go with this thing, right? Either way, I feel as if like unless you're really looking to get one for yucks or whatever, I don't really think it's going to be $35 well spent. So let's come back up to the top cam and vape on this a little bit, and let me give you my final thoughts. So here we're back on our FaceTime, and let's take a couple of hits. kind of baby clouds, right? You know, it's okay. It's okay for what it is, because it's just very small, all in one kind of device. It's not, you know, something like a box mod with a full tank and you know, decent sized coils or whatever. It's just like miniature everything, like crammed into like one e-pipe. So again, I haven't reviewed a lot of e-pipes. I really appreciate receiving this one, and I think the whole idea of gift giving is to buy people stuff that they normally wouldn't get themselves anyways, right? But still, at the end of the day, when I go ahead and just do a little bit of market research by you know, Googling the words e-pipe and then hitting images, right? I just see too many other selections that if I were to personally go out of my way and get myself an e-pipe, this, I gotta be honest, would not have been my first choice. So that is it for this item spotlight. I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and as always, guys, we say here on PVA, question everything, do your homework, and vape clever, guys. Take care.